Good morning, everybody. Kind of putting this one out pretty quickly. I have to go get my nails done. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm actually going to make a geode cake thing. But it has 3 sizes of trays. It's a 3-tier cake tray is what it is. And we're going to make that, but we're not going to do the flower technique. What we're going to do today is geode. I like doing geodes. They're a whole lot of fun. And I'm actually going to mix my resin today with you guys. I had not been doing that, and for the sake of the length of the video, but you know, we can always edit out the uninteresting parts, you know, like me struggling to get around the after turning the camera on, you know, that kind of fun stuff. So today we are using, because I like it, I'm used to it. Yes, it is a little spendy, but it is worth it, and that's the Stone Coat countertops. And this is an art coat. I use their casting for other stuff, for deeper stuff. This is the hardware that comes with this set of molds that I got off of Amazon. So you have everything you need if you order the kit. It has the hardware and it's got the molds if you want to make a tray. I use these for measuring because, as you can see, they got the lines. Ew, freaky. The lines stop up here, and I used 2 of each today for both part A and part B. So we'll get them out of the way. Yeah. I need a baby wipe. Okay, and baby wipes are also good to wipe your molds off of too. If you get a little splatter on your mold or what have you, you can wipe them down with a baby wipe. All right, I'm gonna move them over. And we are going to get to mixing and measuring. Oops. So, stop. So let me grab some popsicle sticks. I forgot to grab those. Okay, what I'm going for today, let me get these completely out of my way. What I'm going for today is my china that I have here for use in the house is like a blood red. I call it blood red. It's probably technically cranberry or something like that. Ooh, here. Probably technically cranberry or something like that, but I call it blood red. So what I want to do is make a nice blood red to go with that. So I'm going to use blood red that I'm probably going to mix up between these powders somehow. I've got a wine red, I've got charcoal black, I've got scarlet, and I've got Shiraz. Shiraz is pretty, but I'm probably not going to use it, so I'll set that to the side. So I'm going to try to get a mix of the wine red, charcoal black, and scarlet to get as close to my china as I can. And I'm going to use gold for accent. And then one of these red alcohol inks, I haven't decided really which one yet. Probably ruby. Okay, let's get started with mixing. When I say I use a heaping spoonful, it is one of these spoonfuls. It is not an honest, genuine teaspoonful. You would use so much powder if you did that. But I'm going to kind of scrape that up about like that for the gold. You want to put your powder in first, by the way. Because if you put it on with the resin already in there, then what it's going to do is scatter around. It might blow out. It might, especially if you have ventilation, which I do have ventilation. You must have ventilation when you're working with resin. Okay, so there's our gold in our cup. So we're going to set that off to the side. Now, let's try a mix of this, eh? As Julie would say, eh? All right. I'm not going to do the heaping teaspoons. I'm going to do like that. That's the scarlet. A spoon of white. I'm only going to go with a little tiny bit of black because I don't want to overpower. Ooh, that's too much. Just a little bit to start off with, just see what kind of color we get. Wipe that off. Now the wine. These packets are hard to open with gloves, so bear with me. It's kind of got a burgundy. It's really pretty. It's kind of got a burgundy tint to it. Okay. There's that. Set that to the side. Move these over in case I need them again. Okay. So we've got our, hopefully, blood red. This is going to be for the alcohol ink. You don't, of course, you don't drop in your alcohol ink first. You can dump that in with the resin. This is what I'm going to use for my center. It's a mix of the gold flake and the gold stones. Kind of keep the gold and red theme going. All right. Now, I mixed this big cup for almost 7 minutes. One of the guidelines that I use of all things is Gordon Lightfoot's The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. If you stir your resin for the length of that song from beginning to end, your resin's mixed. All right. So I'm going to put a little bit in here. Now I've let it sit for about 10 minutes. A little thinner is fine for geode. I like it a little thicker for the flowers. So we're just going to drizzle into that. Then I'm going to pour, these are 6-ounce cups, I think. So I'm going to put in about 4 ounces. In each cup. Yeah, because the little one's 4 ounces. It's a little more than a shot. Or 2 shots. Okay. Then a cup for my clear. You always want to have a cup of clear handy in case you need to flood it back. But you only want to go halfway because if you don't, then it runs down the side and everything else. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's see what we have. Let's try this. I like the crunchy sound. Crunchy, crunchy. You want to make it into a paste so that it sits when you put it in the mold. If you dump it in without, it has a tendency to kind of up and float away. And you don't want that, but you want it in kind of a paste-like consistency. If I need to add more, I can. All right, let's see what we got. I'm curious to see what we get with our mix of powders. Ooh, that's an ugly stick. Ugly stick. Isn't that the name of a fishing company? Fishing poles, ugly sticks. You want to stir your mica powder really, really well. And it appears as though the wine has taken over But it's not an ugly color at all. It's pretty. So I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to think about this because I may want it just a little bit darker, but I can add a drop of black alcohol ink to it. I don't know, that sure is, nah, let's go a little darker. It's all an experimentation, isn't it? All right, I added 1 drop. Let's see what happens. Not much. Kind of looks purpley. Let's add some red. Yes, you can add alcohol ink to your mica powder mixture. All right, not much difference. And I don't want to get toward the purples, so I'm going to leave that alone. All right. Gonna mix up our gold. Gold will take over, so you kind of have to watch out for that. And I'm a little concerned about that red taking over. I don't want it to take over too much, but that's why I have the clear, because if something starts taking over, you can push it back by pouring your clear in. I'll show you for sure, because that's a very, very important bit of knowledge to have, especially when you're trying to make geodes. And I noticed these molds have a little round stopper, so to speak. So therefore, you don't have to drill, which is nice, but it kind of messes up how you want to pour. This is 24 karat gold, and it matches up pretty well with the hardware, I think. So we have that. All right, now we're going to go ruby. I'm going to go 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's see where that gets us. I don't want pink. I don't want anything pinky. And I almost did a flower dip on this, or a flower pour, because I like the technique for one. But I was scared with using the white casting craft that I would end up with pink, and I did not want that at all. Okay, that's nice, but I'm going to go a little bit darker. I want this a little bit darker. So I'm going to add a drop of the blackcurrant. Oops, 3 drops came out, so we'll see what happens. Okay, that is almost the exact color of my, this is almost the exact color of my china. It's not china, it's Avon glassware from like the 50s and 60s or something. But it's like a really pretty, deep, rich blood red color. And I love it. Oh, some more red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had been pre-mixing my colors and everything because it takes so long. So. There we go. Okay, we've got everything mixed up. Let's get set up for the pour. Get out of the way. Okay. Now, I'm just going to arrange them like this. Y'all should be able to see them. Get these out of the way. done with these. Okay. Keep these over here because I want y'all to be able to see the molds. So let me move them up. Since I'm learning, it's hard to tell. I'm looking at my iPhone's cameras, so I'm hoping that everything is where they need to be. If I screw up, forgive me. I will improve as time goes on. Okay, what I want to do with this is I want to pour. This is just so burgundy. I don't really want a darker red, but hey, whatever. Okay. And I use these because you can pinch them. Pinch them. And I'm just going to go right around the edge. You don't want to do a lot because strong colors, I stalled. Strong colors have a tendency to take over your project. And you don't really want that. Oh, and to protect my surface here, ooh, I've got a wrinkle, I gotta blend that out. To protect my surface here, I use a puppy pad. I just have them delivered monthly from Amazon, and I don't have to worry about my workspace, which is already destroyed anyway, this poor thing. It's an old desk, and as I was, learning how to really get into these things, acrylic pouring, and I made big, huge messes on my tabletop. All right, that is to the side. You know, I got to decide if I want to do gold. I'm going to make sure everything is inside the edges. Just take your popsicle stick and make sure all your spaces are covered, all your little nooks and crannies. Because as you can see, these Geode molds have little nooks and crannies in them. And they, sometimes the resin doesn't flow into it. So you got to just kind of give it a little push. Give it a little help. There you go. Just like that. Pop it into the corners. Now these are pretty shallow, so hopefully I'm not going to be using a whole bunch of product. And when I'm done here, I'm going to show you what I do with leftover resin. It's fun, and you end up with a nice little extra thing. You're thick. Go back that way. There we go. Fill in them holes, buddy. Okay. Now, let's do some of this, I guess. That is a pretty color. I'm not really sure it's what I was looking for, but hey, we can always do it again. I would do the puddle technique, but I can't because of the little hole in the center. And the puddle technique is just where you pour in the middle and keep pouring your colors. And they spread out and fill in your mold. But I don't think I can do that because of the post in the middle. So just gonna go around like that. Look at it blend. Nice. It's a big old mold. That mold's gonna, the big mold's gonna be nice to try the flower pours in, because I love the flower pours in the flower mold, but you don't have enough room in there because of the shape of the petals on the mold. You don't really have a lot of leeway. So I'm really looking forward to playing with that. Don't want that yet. Let's pour a little gold. Gold will take over if you don't watch it. So go lightly on your gold. till you decide it's what you want. It's going to be interesting looking for sure. I hope they'll be pretty, because I want to use them as a display, of course. You want to put them to good use. That's why I'm using the stone coat, because I know for a fact it's food safe. So you always want to use, if you're going to use anything that you're going to have food around, you want to use a food safe resin. There's no reason not to. Okay. I can throw in a little clear, maybe. You know what? Let's add a little more of this. Gonna move it and push it around. There we go. That'll finish up like cranberry. I hope it does not really look as pink on camera as it does here. I didn't want pink, but to me it looks kind of pinkish, but maybe when it dries it won't, because I really do not want pink. Why not? It's a geode after all. So we're going to make it kind of layered. But Salem's meowing at me. She never does this, okay? She never does this. She never pesters me. And here we are, I'm videoing, and what is she doing? She's pestering me. Oops, that was too much. Yeah, I hear you. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. She never does this. I mean, I could be back here working for hours and I never hear anything, and then now today, because I'm videoing, here's Salem. I'm going to slide this because it seems to be. There we go. All right, now for some clear. I'm just going to kind of puddle it in the middle and let it spread out. Maybe I can do a puddle pour in these. I don't know. We'll find out. That puddled. Yes, let's aggravate mommy. These are pretty shallow molds, and what I'm doing now is I still want them full to the top. So I'm going to keep pouring in clear until I get what I'm looking for. I hope y'all can see the reactions of the smaller two. This one has a lot of space to cover, but I hope y'all can see that. It's gorgeous. I want to get to the top of the mold. Oops. Get to the top of the mold. Look at that. I swear, if it's not my husband barging in on me when I'm doing this, it's the cat. All right, I'm going to add this around here, and I want it kind of nice and flat, but I don't want it to interfere with anything. Like the hole, the post, whatever you want to call it. There we go. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Ooh, I still got plenty of gold. Flatten it out as much as possible because you don't want it I don't particularly like the edges sticking up of the stones or crystals or whatever you're putting in the middle. Especially if I do coasters, I want a level surface. I don't want a bumpy surface. So I'm kind of feeling the same kind of way about these. You'd think that cat was done, wouldn't you? She's such a drama queen. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her. She just doesn't like to be left out of anything. Her nickname is Mayhem. She is a pitch black cat with green eyes, and she is the naughtiest out of our 4. Completely, absolutely the naughtiest. Just kind of adding more to this one because it's so big, and I probably should have poured a much thicker level in it, but it'll be okay. This is a test run, really, overall. I'm actually going to pour some more of this around the edges. I want to, well, number one, I want to top it off, but also I think it needs more. I'm going to do the same with this one because, like I said, I want them all full. So that one's looking really pretty. I love the effects that it's getting. Just pour this. Everybody's getting a little bit. Okay. There's that. I may not have any leftover resin to show you guys what I do with resin. Or with leftover resin, I should say. Right, add a little more clear to my cup. Now she's scratching on the door. Hi. And what I want to do is pour a circle right around the middle. Get some nice effects. And help cover up those stones. Not much issue there. Got plenty of space. So let's fix that. That's some gold. I know that's not what I originally wanted, but you know what? It'll work. There's some gold in. Those others are processing just fine on their own. Although I will say they're not filling up. That one seems to be a little off level though. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to keep pouring clear until I get them to the level that I want them. This one seems to be unlevel, so... Yes, resin is self-leveling, but you kind of got to help it. If it's sitting lopsided, it's not going to level. No, this video I'm not going to get to show you what I do with leftover resin, but that is coming. Stop. Just lay there. It's definitely sitting crooked. Okay. This one's full, so I'm just gonna throw a little bit in there. Okay. That one is full and ready, so I'm just gonna slide it that way. Slide it that way a little bit, and I'm gonna slide pinch it with my fingers, maybe. Slide it over a little bit, because this one really needs to be level. I don't know. Oh, I know what it is. It's on the double. Sweet. This is doubled up right here, the puppy pad. So it should start leveling out. Okay, that is that for that. I'm not going to add any more to anything. Grab me another wet wipe. And I'm gonna pop some air bubbles. Wait, I think I have some of this left. I have a little bit of this left. Let's see. Oh shit. I can use some more. You can use some more. I'll have to pick that little dribble out. You can use a little more. You're really pretty. Okay. Okay, it all appears to be flat. Now, another thing you can do if you don't have enough to like fill it, but you're happy with what you have, when it's dry, you can do a flood coat on top to finish filling it up to the rim. All right, I'm gonna take my gloves off. No, I'm not, because I do have enough to show y'all what I do with excess resin. All right, heat done on low. You don't really want to blow them around too much, but you do, but you don't, if that makes sense. That one needs something there. That's just kind of a big old bald spot. And get a little bit of this out. I mean, there's one thing having a nice round bald spot and something completely different having just one kind of random. Okay. These are definitely interesting. Throw it around, make it mix a little bit. Which it should. Get the bubbles popped. That's one reason why I let my stone coat sit a little bit, is so that some bubbles disperse. You don't want a whole lot of bubbles in your stuff. That one just seemed a little weird looking. And blow it out a little bit. Okay, that's better. Now, what I do when I have used everything that I'm gonna do, my piece is ready. I have a pyramid mold. I hope y'all can see it. I have a pyramid mold. And what I do with my excess resin, I just pulled a pyramid out yesterday. What I do with my excess resin, put it in my pyramid. And your pyramid will always be different. It's always going to be pretty. You can do different things. You can set like a cone or something in the middle of it and pour around that cone, and then you would have a spot to put a light. I made a light up pyramid, pulled it out yesterday, and I'll eventually do a how-to on pyramids. They're fun, but you want to make sure you mash it down good so it gets down into that little point. So okay, that's the pyramid, and I'm gonna let these sit for about 10 minutes and we'll see what happens. And I'll bring you in for a close-up. Yes. That one's really pretty. I'm getting the glare from my ceiling lights though. I don't like that. All right, we will come back later.